Hey guys, welcome to the Tech Source Review Edition. Today we are taking a look at the NZXT Phantom, which we recently unboxed. Now this is a full tower, so very cool stuff there. Definitely stick around. It'll be a good one.
So on the front of the case, we can see that it's got a really nice styling. You can see there's a nice ventilation hole. Going up, we can see there's a nice door covering all your 5 drive bay covers. And it closes, and it uses magnets to stay closed, which is very nice. Now, a neat feature on the Phantom is to remove a drive bay cover. It's just easily pushing these tabs off, and it comes right off, and it goes back on just by snapping in. Very good and simple. Now, on the top of the case, we find a microphone jack, a headphone jack, 2 USB 2 ports, an eSATA. We find a power button, a reset button, and our power and hard drive activity LED. Now also on the top of the case we find a huge ventilation slot, and underneath those ventilation slots is a single 200mm fan, and there's room for an expansion of a second NZXT 200mm fan. Now on the back of the case we find there's a LED button, so it turns the LEDs on and off in the case. We also find there's a room for a pre-installed 120mm fan, aisle shield plate, where it'd be installed. You also got 4 water cooling tubes, pretty decent size, about standard. We also find 7 expansion slots. As we can see, you can easily do a crossfire setup, and room for an ATX power supply. Now on the one side panel of the case, we find there's a 200mm fan, and it comes with a dust filter on it. It's an optional NZXT one. Also, we can install. It already comes with 2 120mm fans with dust filters already on them, blowing on the hard drive cages. On the opposite side of the panel, we find where the air for those fans blows out to the side of the case, and it's just a big ventilation slot. Now, installing a drive, a DVD drive, is a toolless operation. You just click it over, and then it opens up. It's unlocked. You push it down and click the tab back over, and now it's locked. Simple. Now inside the case, we can find you can put a video card up to 14 inches long. Very nice. As you can see, you can easily fit 2 cards in this case. Depending on your motherboard layout, you might be able to put 3, but for the motherboard that we were using, we were having problems with putting 3 video cards in. So here we go. I'm going to put the 3rd video card in here. It's definitely not a 4890. It's a 3870, but whatever. For demonstration purposes, as you can see, it'd be nice if we had 8 expansion slots, but we don't, and it's mainly because of the motherboard layout as well. Now on the back of the case, you find we have room for lots of cables that are rerouted, and there's good places where you can zip tie all your cables to, and there's a decently sized CPU cutout, a lot better than some cases I've seen. Also, you see at the top there's a nice spot for your 8-pin power plug to go through. It's a really good bonus there. It's really well laid out. As you can see, NZXT came with this cool system here. It's like a little latch system to take on and off your side panels. It's on both sides. Now to remove your front access panel to get to a front fan, it's easy, just tugging on the bottom, comes right off. As you can see, there's room for a 220 or 140mm fan, which is very nice. And you can easily remove the top by just pulling up on the little hole there, and it comes right off. And the plastic's ABS plastic, so it's very strong, so you can see access to the 200mm fans. You can put a 2x120 rad in there, which is really nice, and you have access to the fan controller as well.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our review of the NZXT Phantom full tower case. I'm just going to go over some quick cons and pros of the case. Now, some pros that we saw about the case was great styling. The plastics that it did use are very high quality. Love the fan controller. Great airflow. I really like the fans that blow right on the hard drives. That was great. Lots of space for cable management. One con about the cable management was I would have liked to see a little bit more space behind the motherboard. It may be a removable motherboard tray. That would be really nice. But because it is a full tower, there's lots of space to work into. And actually, another side note too, another little bit more use of dust filters. They didn't have one on the front intake fan. They had one on the side fans and one for the power supply, which was really good to see too. On the top of the case, it had 200mm fans, which was really cool. You could put a 200mm fan on the side. It had a lot of great options. As you saw in the video, we had a crossfire setup in it, so it's like really cool. So it's a really good case overall. I'm probably going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And thanks for checking out a review of the NZXT Phantom case.
Moo! It's a cow.